All right, what's going on, Bulls Nation? Back-to-back wins by the Bulls. 2 games in a row now. So we're going to talk about this Detroit Pistons game. I'm not going to lie. I was a bit worried in the beginning, even towards the end, but we're going to talk about it right after this.
Let's talk about one of the most iconic basketball teams in the world. You're listening to Chicago Bulls Nation.
All right, Bulls Nation. It was a big win, especially coming off that win against Milwaukee. There was a lot of doubts. It's like, hey, man, this is one of those teams again. It's a trap game. We are going to lose this because, hey, we play down to the level of competition. We've seen this against the Rockets, and I'm not going to lie, for the 4 quarters and a half, it looks like that was going to be the case. I mean, the Bulls, if you look at the scoreboard, it seems like, hey, man, they took control of this game. They did not. I mean, we were just there. I would love to see a bit more assertiveness to this team, especially on these kind of teams where Detroit, they're missing some players and all that stuff. We played okay, defensively. The rotations were there. There's a few mislaps and all that stuff, but I don't know, the rebounding is killing us so far. The interior defense, the rotation is getting better. I must admit, the three-pointers has stopped. When the other teams are raining three-pointers on us, we kind of solved that in the past few games, but in what expense? The rebounding. I think the rebounding kind of gave in. I think we're emphasizing more on helping on the three-pointer, leaving us kind of open on the inside. So, at least there's progress being made because, yes, we're not rebounding well, but at least we're not giving up, ridiculous amounts of three-pointers. At some point, you give them too much of that, they would make it. So it's a balance act. Hopefully, we get to solve that, right? Like with Vooch, maybe he can rebound every once in a while. But with that being said, man, Zach Lavine, my goodness, trying to one-up DeMar DeRozan. And he was hot. He was hot from the get-go. I was scared that, it was going to be like one of those games where one player... I mean, look at Drummond inside. Man, if we can't get a rebound, if the rebound is getting out of control, I would say if I was Billy Donovan and you gave up, 3 straight offensive rebounds, get Drummond in there. The guy is just a rebounding machine in both ends, offensively and defensively. Vooch, he's a good rebounder when it's falling down his lap, but you can see Zach right here attacking the basket, getting and ones, shooting from the outside. I don't know how you can be more efficient than the night that he had, and not only on the offensive end, he gave it on the defensive end as well. I gotta give it to Zach, man. I gotta give props to the guy. Yes, he drives me crazy with his shot selection sometimes. When the guy is hot, my goodness, he is dangerous when he's hot. Plus, I would say this. In the past, since the altercation in the back in the halftime of the Minnesota game, he's been on point with his defense. Yes, he still has some lapses. Yes, he still takes some bad shots that would make you scratch your head. But overall, his effort was there, so I can't really fault him for that. He mastered this dragging sliding foot now, and then the kind of like the fake ball show that he does have on his... Ooh, Ayo, that was filthy. But yeah, overall defensively, even DeMar DeRozan, man, that guy came clutch against the Bucks defensively. Also now, like you can see, they're engaged. Yes, he's not going to turn into Alex Caruso overnight, not even ever. But you just want him to be decent. That's all I'm asking for is the effort defensively. Zach, when he locks in one-on-one, I'm not talking about help defense, because help defense, he still have ways to go. But one-on-one, we should be putting him... he took Bojan today. Is it Bojan or Boban? Whatever his name is. Bogdanovic. And he did pretty decently against Sadiq Bey. Unless Bey was... Look at this. Zach. And he got, He got he's screaming at the bench and all that stuff. That is good. We need to see some of those. I guess I'm gonna make a separate video because the Bulls are progressing right now, and they are 3 games out of the 6th spot against the Pacers. The East is kind of cramped up right now in the middle, and there's a lot of games left. If the Bulls can somehow just hang in there, because right now we're in the Patrick Williams. Kind of right now we're in the 10th spot. We're in the play-in tournament. But with that being said, like Toronto's right there. The Wizards are right there. So we can easily slide down to the 12th spot. So can't take the foot off the pedal. But with that being said, within those two teams that I mentioned, Toronto and us, we have the better talent out of those three teams. So there's no point of us sliding down all the way to the 12. Our baseline should be play-in. Baseline. Like, that should be the worst case scenario for the Bulls. Best case scenario with this slow start, I would say would be the 6th, 5th seed, kind of like what we finished last year. But I'm encouraged with what I'm seeing right now, and I like what I see. You know, maybe they're coming together. Maybe they're knowing how to play with each other now without a, quote unquote playmaker in Lonzo. But so far, Ayo has given a different dynamic now. Like, he kind of woke up I wouldn't even say this is the second half of the season. Kind of like, I don't know, like second half of the first half of the season. But they're waking up. Our moves still, do I still want to see some moves? Of course. We still haven't addressed, the biggest need. But I guess schematic-wise, with what Billy's doing. And I also give Billy a lot of, criticism, but you gotta give it to him when he's doing something good. The rotation is still not the best, because Zach was hot and he eyes Zach for like 5 minutes in the second quarter. Good thing Zach just heats up right away. But big win nonetheless. Tomorrow's gonna be a big game against the Cavs. The Cavs have lost 3 in a row now, but they're the Cleveland Cavaliers and they're tall and lengthy, something that the Bulls are not. So this is a dangerous game, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching.